Being smart does not protect you from being fooled. You can read carefully, earn degrees, and still share a false story after checking your phone for 10 seconds. The real danger is not low intelligence. It is the speed at which the mind turns a simple story into a confident belief. A dramatic post appears in your group chat. It has a villain, a victim, and a shocking secret. You feel something before you check anything. Then you forward it, defend it, and slowly make it part of your identity. So why does the mind prefer a clear story, even when reality is uncertain? That question matters far beyond social media. It affects health choices, workplace conflict, money decisions, relationships, and the way we judge strangers. In Les Bill's Balivernes, Thomas C. Durand explores practical defenses against bad information. You will also learn useful English words for evidence, probability, doubt, and clear thinking. The first idea is uncomfortable. Your brain is not designed to examine every claim with equal care. Thinking uses energy. In daily life, the mind often chooses a shortcut. A shortcut is a fast mental rule that helps you decide without studying every detail. These shortcuts are useful, but they can also create bias. Bias is a repeated pattern that pushes judgment in one direction. It is not simply stupidity or dishonesty. A capable person can have strong bias because the mind is trying to save time. The same system that helps you react quickly can also make a weak claim feel obvious. Long ago, a sound in the bushes could mean harmless wind or a dangerous animal. Waiting for perfect proof could be costly. Running away too early wasted energy, but waiting too long could end your life. Human thinking therefore became sensitive to danger, patterns, and fast explanations. That old system still works inside a modern world. Now the bushes may be a breaking news alert, a strange symptom, or a coworker's short email. Your mind still wants a fast answer. It asks, "What does this mean?" and often chooses the first explanation that feels complete. False stories spread well because they are built for memory. They remove uncertainty, reduce complexity, and give each person a clear role. A business did something evil. A public figure planned everything. One hidden group controls the whole event. The story is easy to repeat because it feels like a movie. Popularity adds another force. When thousands of people react to a claim, the reaction itself becomes evidence in our minds. We think, so many people cannot all be wrong. But attention is not proof. A crowded argument may only show that the story is emotional, simple, and easy to share. Then identity enters the picture. After you publicly support one side, changing your mind becomes harder. The claim is no longer only information. It becomes your claim. New evidence may feel like a personal attack, so you defend your earlier choice instead of examining the facts again. There is also an unfair difference between creating a rumor and correcting it. A false claim may take one sentence. A careful correction may require context, definitions, and several sources. The rumor brings surprise. The correction brings homework. This is why truth often travels with heavier shoes. But here is where things get more interesting. The problem is not only that other people tell false stories. Your own mind also creates meaning from weak signals. To think clearly, you must learn to question not just the message, but the mental process that made the message feel true. Human beings strongly prefer order. We connect events, notice repeated shapes, and search for hidden causes. This ability helps us learn. It also makes us see patterns that may not exist. Two events happen close together, and the mind quickly builds a bridge between them. Suppose you wear a new jacket to an important meeting and receive good news. The next week, you wear it again. Soon the jacket feels lucky. The event is real, but the connection may be invented. Correlation means two things happen together. Causation means one thing actually produces the other. The mind also notices what it expects to see. This is confirmation bias. Once you believe a manager dislikes you, every short message feels cold. Friendly messages become exceptions. Neutral messages become hidden attacks. You collect supporting details and quietly ignore the rest. Familiarity creates another trap. A claim repeated many times becomes easier to process. Because it feels smooth, it begins to feel true. This is one reason advertising works. It is also why a repeated rumor can become believable, even when nobody has added new evidence. So how can you know whether a claim is strong? The next idea gives us one of the best tests. Do not ask only, "What supports this?" Ask, "What result would show that this is wrong?" If no possible result could change the claim is protected from reality. A useful explanation must take a risk. It should be falsifiable, which means evidence could show it is false. If a person predicts success and later explains every failure as hidden energy, the prediction never loses. It changes shape after every result. That is not a strong test. Good reasoning works differently. It states the claim clearly, names the expected result, and accepts the possibility of failure. Evidence is not decoration added after a conclusion. Evidence is information that can challenge the conclusion. It helps us remove weak ideas, not only defend favorite ones. Watch for claims that survive every outcome. A product works when you improve, but your body resisted when you do not. A prediction is correct when it happens, but the timing shifted when it fails. These explanations may sound flexible, yet their flexibility makes them almost impossible to test. Framing can also fool us without using a single false sentence. Someone might describe water with a frightening chemical name, mention that people can die from breathing it, and ask for a ban. Every statement may be technically true, but the frame hides the ordinary meaning and creates fear. This is why facts must be judged inside context. Ask what was left out, which comparison is missing, and whether the wording creates emotion before understanding. A true detail can still support a false conclusion when important information has been removed. If this part is helping you recognize a belief you accepted too quickly, save the video. The next time a dramatic claim appears, return to these questions before you react. What would prove it wrong? What context is missing? And am I examining evidence or protecting my identity? Reasonable doubt is essential, but unlimited doubt creates another problem. Some people reject every source, every expert, and every photograph by saying, "It could all be fake." That sounds skeptical, yet it is not critical thinking. It is a closed system where no evidence is ever allowed to matter. Conspiracy thinking often begins with a fixed assumption. An assumption is an idea accepted before the evidence is examined. If the starting assumption is that a hidden group controls everything, then both proof and lack of proof become signs of control. The belief cannot lose. A better approach is cognitive humility. Humility does not mean having no opinion. It means knowing that your view may be incomplete. You can say, "This is my best explanation right now, but I may revise it." That sentence protects you from certainty without pushing you into endless doubt. Probability is also important. Real life is rarely a choice between absolute truth and absolute falsehood. We often decide with incomplete information. A medical test, a business forecast, or a hiring decision changes what is likely, but it does not remove all uncertainty. Base rates help us judge probability. A base rate is how common something is before new evidence appears. A rare problem can still be unlikely after a positive test, especially when false alarms are possible. The result matters, but the starting probability matters too. Our attention also has limits. When you focus hard on one task, you may miss something obvious nearby. This is called inattentional blindness. It does not mean your eyes failed. It means attention selected one signal and pushed other signals into the background. The same thing happens in arguments. When your goal is to win, you notice weak points in the other person's case and ignore weak points in your own. When your goal is to understand, different evidence becomes visible. Attention follows purpose. Self-deception makes this even harder. A person can spread a weak idea with complete sincerity. Strong confidence does not prove strong evidence. Sometimes people believe their own story because certainty protects their self-image, gives them status, or reduces anxiety. That is why the way we discuss ideas matters. A healthy debate is not a battle between good people and bad people. It is a joint attempt to find the view with fewer errors. The goal is not to force the other person to surrender. The goal is to improve both minds. Start by separating the person from the claim. Attack the reasoning, not the character. Ask what evidence supports the idea. Ask whether the conclusion follows from that evidence. Do not turn "I disagree with this point" into "you are dishonest, stupid, or dangerous." Next, use charity. In a good discussion, charity means giving the other person's argument its strongest reasonable meaning. Do not make it weaker so it is easier to defeat. Try to understand what information, experience, or fear could make their position feel sensible. Honesty is equally important. Admit when a point has failed. Do not reuse an argument after it has been clearly answered. The person making a claim has the duty to support it. They should not say, "Prove me wrong," while offering no evidence of their own. Avoid false choices. A failed project does not prove the leader was either evil or foolish. The decision may have involved risk, limited time, missing information, and several possible outcomes. Reality often contains more than two options. Also avoid personal stories as your main proof. A customer saying, "It worked for me," may be sincere, but one experience cannot show what usually happens. Testimonials are memorable. Reliable evidence compares more cases and looks for other explanations. Several simple tools can help. Occam's razor says we should not add extra causes without need. If a normal mistake explains an event, a secret international plan requires much stronger evidence. The simplest explanation is not always correct, but unnecessary complexity should make us cautious. Hanlon's razor offers a social version. Do not quickly explain a mistake through bad intent when confusion, limited skill, or carelessness could explain it. This does not mean harmful behavior should be ignored. It means accusation should come after evidence, not before it. Before sharing information, use 3 filters. First, do I have a good reason to think it is true? Second, am I sharing it with a constructive purpose? Third, is it useful for the person receiving it? These filters can remove a great deal of noise from daily life. You can also ask 3 questions before entering an argument. Do I actually know more than the other person? Do I have evidence about their intention, or am I guessing? What result do I want from this conversation? These questions reduce careless certainty and pointless conflict. The central problem was never that people are simply foolish. We are vulnerable because fast thinking, pattern detection, trust, and social belonging are normal human abilities. The goal is not to remove them. The goal is to know when they are helping and when they are leading us away from reality. Today, choose one claim that made you angry, hopeful, or afraid. Write it down. Then list the evidence, the missing context, and one fact that could change your mind. This small practice turns a reaction into an investigation. Before we finish, let us review a few useful words from this episode. Bias is a repeated mental pattern that shapes judgment. Evidence is information that can support or challenge a claim. An assumption is an idea accepted before careful checking. Correlation means two things appear together, while causation means one produces the other. Falsifiable describes a claim that could be shown to be wrong. Probability is how likely something is. Uncertainty means we do not have complete knowledge. Humility means accepting that our view may need revision. Critical thinking brings these skills together so we can judge claims with more care. You do not need perfect intelligence to avoid every mistake. You need better habits around doubt, evidence, and identity. Pause before sharing. Separate people from ideas. Prefer explanations that can be tested. And leave enough room in your mind for a better answer. Subscribe for more book-based English practice and practical ideas for clearer thinking. In the comments, name one belief you want to examine more carefully, and choose one English word from today that you would like to use this week.